talking about Bardo of death and Bardo of becoming, I wonder what you have to say about suicide.
Yes. Suicide. Well, lot of things to say about it. I think the suicide is really like getting addicted to absinthe. You know, there's a brand called absinthe. Absinthe? Absinthe? Where is it made, by the way, absinthe? So it's an addiction, basically, but a very astute addiction. And all the Bardo dissolution applies. But what we need to pay attention to is that astute addiction. Basically, it is an addiction to sort out, fix the problem in a certain way. That's what he or she is thinking, isn't it? And actually, many animals also, they do kind of suicide. But maybe many animals also, they may have a little also ignorance. Yeah. But beyond that, I think we need to really open the Pandora box to explain this. Yeah, it is basically a very vicious and ironically very vicious form of what's the meaning of vanity? Yeah, so it's a form of vanity. And yeah, pride, I guess, and selfishness, etc. And because it is an astute and profound and strong, and this is why I was talking about absinthe. Absinthe is alcohol. It's really strong, right? 80% alcohol, whatever. And so not everybody like doing that, but those who wants to do it, those who gets addicted to that because it's short and strong and decisive, so to speak. So, you know. And therefore, it can be also very, very addictive. Because it doesn't really make sense of putting lots of ice on absinthe. The whole point is lost, you know. There's a lot of that, by the way. Even people who eat, where's my guinea pigs? Oh, doesn't matter. Even those, even people who eat who eats chicken curry. Chicken curry. Do you eat chicken curry? Yeah, I eat. You know, they have a lot of, you know, this is a good example actually. There's a certain amount of chili they put, and then they can really get addicted to that astute, fast, decisive spice. Then they have, you look at it, look at these people who eat chicken curry. They will have a side green chili and onion. Where is it? Oh yeah, here, the onion. They even need an onion. So this year, I'm already observing people like Prashant. They already the ratio of onion has gone up. Because 1 or 2 onion doesn't do the job. It's a bit like this. Just needs the dose, like strong dose.
So then, if somebody is suicidal, I can't really tell them, you're an addict and you are very self-centered and overly pride.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sure, of course, you cannot. This is why lot of these problems you have to deal. If you are a Mahayana Buddhist, you have to deal with a aspiring bodhicitta. Cannot. You can never ever tell Joe Biden, forget it, no second term. You cannot. It's a bit like this. It's just so blind. They just can't do it. So aspiring bodhicitta, may they never think like this. And it will work. It does have a power. It really does. Okay, Tejal.
Rinpoche, there is a series of empowerments of deities called knowing one knows all.
Mm-hmm.
So when you were talking about deity being emptiness and clarity, do all different deities, they are made just as to help like our different minds and different projections?
Yes. Yeah. The deities are just the most beautiful, actually, especially, like big tantras. Like there's a, Kalachakra Tantra. The deities of the Kalachakra Tantra is just the most colorful. Like the male consort's name is like a deity who wants to yawn. And his consort, his female consort is the deity who detests yawning. So they're in union, like that. And we are talking about a very, very higher, tantra. Okay.
Rinpoche, I have 2 questions. First one is about the fear that arises during the Bardo. So is this because of the referencelessness,
yes,
that you can't be in control?
Yes.
Okay. And the second,
I think so. That's the main one. Referenceless is the most scary. I mean, even in our Bardo of living is the most. That's why we get even title like Mr. What does that mean? Like this.
And my second question, Rinpoche, is that this union of luminosity and emptiness, is it the same thing which is spoken of in the Tibetan concept of Lenchik to Cheva?
Yes, that's it. Okay, any more questions? There's questions in the audience, I think, today. Yeah.
Rinpoche, thank you for the teachings. Can you elaborate a little bit more when you were speaking about one moment of samadhi or recognition?
Mm-hmm.
And, normally we would say that you might want to prolong it.
Mm-hmm.
But you said that this one moment, don't underestimate the power of it. I mean, this
Mm-hmm.
is how I understood. But can
Mm-hmm.
you speak a little bit more about between this one moment and retaining the quality but prolonging?
Mm-hmm.
Just a bit more about that, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, practically, it depends with what kind of meditation you are doing. Practically speaking, if you are sort of right at the beginning, your master may say, prolong it, try, long for it, work for it, desire for it. This is the best thing you should have. You really should do like hours and hours like that. But as you go on, then if your master is savvy, he will say, okay, the moment you have it, that's good enough. Don't prolong it. Don't try to abide. Because prolonging and abiding is whiskey. That's just another form of a whiskey, and you don't want that. That's what they will say. Anybody who will in the future transcribe this teaching or listen to these teachings out of context, you understand? They will really think this is what happens in Deer Park. Okay. Any more? Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, so you said in today only that there will be a mediocre answer, that you have to prolong this moment of I don't know. It feels like emptiness. That there will be a mediocre answer, but a better answer will be as I understood it, contemplating on the four seals, and somehow I can relate to it more for myself.
Okay.
So I just wanted your advice if that is a more advice.
Right at the beginning, I was talking about shrugging off. Remember, that's what I was talking about. So even you reach to, there's so many stages. Once when you reach to the third stage, you try to go to the shrug it off. Even the fourth seal. You know what Buddha Shakyamuni said? Shakyamuni, this is the one who taught fourth seal. He said, in one sutra, he said, what do you think? He was asking a question to his disciple. What do you think? Looking at a pile of garbage, if you think this is a jewel, what do you think? Is that a right thing to do? Of course, the monk says, of course not. That's a pile of garbage. And then Buddha said, just like that, looking at the four seal, all compounded things are impermanent, all that. Looking at the four seal and think that this is a holy dharma, this is exactly as how you are looking at a pile of garbage and thinking it's a jewel. So lots of shrugging off.
Rinpoche, exactly, I wanted to ask about shrugging off because we talked about it yesterday as well, and samadhi particularly. So do you think in that context, as spiritual seekers, we should work first on shrugging off things rather than pursuing the samadhi? Because quite frankly, I can barely shrug off the lovely taste of vanilla ice cream, so let alone talk about the taste of samadhi. So should I train first on being able to shrug off things so that when they come, I can be able to shrug it off?
That's what I was saying. I think in the beginning, somebody must give you the samadhi and promote the samadhi. And then after a while, that rug needs to be out. Otherwise, you will not go ahead, go forward. Okay? What else? Yeah?
Thank you, Rinpoche. I have two questions. One, yesterday when we talked about the Bardo of dream, and it has influence of the awakened Bardo that we have. But for people who are congenitally visually and hearing impaired,
People who are?
Congenitally, by birth, they are visually or hearing impaired. They don't have the reference that we have. How does it affect their Bardo of awaken and dream? And when people go through near-death experience, when they get a hemorrhage or brain stroke.
Oh, yes. Oh, as long as they have 18 dhatus, they always have their version of dream.
Okay.
Oh, there's so many. Just a few days ago, I was reading a tantric text, and it's so beautiful. It talks about, sometimes small babies, small ones, they laugh. And they just laugh. We don't know why they are laughing. But they have the 18 dhatus, so there must be some amazing, funny thing that happened according to their version. It's, I don't know, so it's like this. They definitely.
And
Yeah, I mean, it just popped in my head. Especially babies, kids, before their mind is contaminated by us adults. When they die, they have actually very, very different kinds of the bardo. Because of, obvious reason I just told you. So, actually, it's good that you mentioned this because it suddenly popped in my head. I've been wanting to introduce Kishti Garba Bodhisattva because somehow he became so popular in China and Japan and Korea. But not so much traces in India. So I think he need to come back because he's supposedly, especially, he has done PhD on Bardo experience of the infants, experts. He's the Pandit of that kind of Bardo. It's fascinating, especially in Japan. Babies' cemeteries. They have these, the Kishti Garba Bodhisattva. I think the mothers, they know how to make a baby kind of successfully laugh or whatever. So using that logic, how do we deal with a baby who just died? So their experience of the Bardo, little different. Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So Rinpoche, there are quite a few questions. I'm just going to pick a few themes and just ask you. So the first one seems to come from people who are practicing the Nondro and so forth, and they're asking about the Foa practice. And they're also asking about practices to prolong life, like does it help people who are about to die, and how does that work? So that's one set of questions.
Of course. It will help. Without a doubt.
Okay.
Then?
And then someone's asking about the luminosity experience. Like, is it literally the experience of light? And
no.
No. And okay.
Not only that.
Not only that.
Yeah,
okay.
Everything.
And,
light.
Yeah. And someone's also asking about the relationship between three terms, luminosity, Rigpa, and Zangtal.
Yeah, they're just similar. Yeah, they're all like water, H2O, like that.
Okay. Then there's this where someone's asking that Karma Lingpa uses phrases like self-created Nirmanakaya. So how do we reconcile this kind of language with the language of the Madhyamika view where nothing can be self-arisen?
Oh, yeah. That's, yeah. Madhyamikas, when they say nothing can be self-arising, Madhyamika people are talking about there's nothing exists truly that self-arises. Karma Lingpa will never say something truly exists.
And finally, if at the moment of death, the bindus, the channels, the consciousnesses, etc., dissolved, then what is it that is actually experiencing this luminosity? And additionally to that, someone's also...
Oh, self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
Yes, that's what I've been saying past maybe 2 days ago. Mind has one wonderful thing, quality or the ability, is knowing itself. And this, see, right now, you feel safe and secure and, I don't know, I should even say, maybe actually you feel kind of, right now you are kind of acting normal because you are, okay, right now you are so-called acting normal from ordinary point of view because you are with the people who are all drinking. So that's the normal. So right now you are in the realm where you use your mind knowing other things. When you give more attention to the other ability of the mind, which is the self-knowing, self-awareness, then you are becoming not normal. And when you are dying, you are forced to, your mind is forced to know itself, and that's why it's unbearable. Really, self-cognizance, self-awareness for ordinary people is unbearable, unbearable. Try this today, this afternoon. Sit somewhere or stand somewhere or walk and just be alone for 5 minutes. Do nothing, just for 5 minutes. You'll be bored. But push, 6 minutes. The boredom will become fear. You have to inject yourself with some sort of a numbing lotion, vaccine. You have to put some vaccine to numb yourself. But now, if you want to be a spiritual person, you have to be brave and face this. Even just sitting alone for 5 minutes. Wonderful thing. Just sitting or standing, just being alone. Yeah. I think we are getting carried away by lots of rituals like sitting as a, we consider this as a practice. Praveen, where is Praveen? Oh yeah. Praveen was telling me that he wants to organize a retreat in Deer Park. No prayers, nothing. It's going to be phone-free retreat. 2 hours phone-free. Did you say that? 2 hours. 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon, 2 hours in the night. No phone, no communication at all. I think that's a good idea, actually. How did you get this idea? I think, and then actually maybe a week of no phone. And this will really free you from numbing whatever. Okay, we'll continue. 100 peaceful and wrathful deity. Can't go on with everyone, all the deities, okay? I can't, because we have no time. And there also different tradition and different sadhanas are different. So I will just speak from few. Okay? First, just you have eye, ear, nose, each will have its own consciousness, right? Now, according to Buddhism, there's 8 consciousness. Let's talk about 2. Okay, so ear, hearing. Ear is, in many sadhanas, ear is Avalokiteshvara, deity, male, Avalokiteshvara, Jerezi. In union with his consort, gas, sound. So see, already 2 deities. Okay? And then eyes, in many sadhanas, is Manjushri. Consort, the vision. Okay? So like that. So 8 bodhisattvas in union with the 8 consorts. So that's already like 16. Yeah? Just giving you just a brief idea. Okay. They even have 6 Buddhas of the 6 for the 6th realm. Let's just talk about 2 of them. Human. Human is a projection. You and me. It's a projection. We wage war. We collect. We save. We work together. Cooperation. But sometimes we want to be left alone. But all in all, the Buddhist way to describe human is Delpong. Del is human being's characteristic is always busy. Busyness is important for us. If you are not busy, unbearable. You understand? Unbearable busyness. And the other one is Pong. Lack of contentment. Pong is like poverty mentality. Always thinking you need this, you need that. You know, online shopping, all of that. You need this. So these are human projection. But time to time we look at, let's say, a sannyasin, a monk, a renunciant, and we look at their simplicity. We just look at the fact that they don't have a diary book. They don't have a schedule to keep. And then we feel very inspired. Wow. So, this is a human projection. So what do we have? Human Buddha, like a Shakyamuni. So he has all that, by the way. He's a prince. He was busy. He was married. He had a son, all that. And then he renounced, Buddha, the savior, sort of a savior, the guide, the coach, the teacher, begging bowl, teaching, the projection, human projection of the Buddha Shakyamuni. My favorite is God realm Buddha. So that's one deity, one peaceful deity, the Buddha. And the God realm Buddha has a musical instrument. Can you imagine? The God, they just need this. This is, I guess, the gods, their projection is always something to do with a continuous, what do you call it? Continuous sort of yang. God realm experience, or the God realm, the essential, the quintessential thing about the God realm is they are like the Navy SEAL of distraction. They're so good at anything to do with the distractions they will come up with. Like the Navy SEAL, the commandos. Yes, so the God realm can really do that. Anything, distractions, they love it. And that's all they care for. Distractions. Not even a moment they give you. You see, this is why the human realm is preferred by the Buddhists. Because sometimes we just can't cope, we can't compete with the God realm. They're so good at one distraction, right after that another distraction. So there's almost like no gap. But whereas we, things needs to be updated, internet doesn't work, so your Netflix doesn't work, so you have to wait. While you wait, you are forced to the luminosity. At least a little bit, right? But God realm, no. The internet works all the time. Electricity, no blackout, shower, everything all the time. God realm. So their projection of the Buddha is with a guitar. It's true. You can look at the tankas. Very amazing. The hell realm also has the Buddha. Hell Buddha. And very interesting. He has a sword and armor. Can you imagine? Because the hell, the essence, quintessence of hell in the Tantra is the aggression. Assertiveness, aggression, defensive, and what do you call it? Offensive, defensive, strike, defend. So these are just a brief sort of principle of peaceful deity. Okay? The wrathful deity is very, very complicated. It starts with Heruka, Malhotra Heruka, Yamantaka Heruka, Hayagriva Heruka, all that kind of thing. Wow. And then 10, there's 58 of them. So, okay, let's talk about 20 wrathful deities. Not all, but just few. Trying to choose which one. Okay. So, because I'm trying to translate this so that I think modern people can sort of relate. So 20 wrathful deities. They are actually connected to burden of morality. I'm serious. Such as, killing is not good. So, abandon killing. 10 virtuous and 10 non-virtuous action. These 20 are the 10 wrathful deities, male, and 10 wrathful deities, female. Like that. Let's choose one big one. Yamantaka, Heruka. It's a wrathful deity. What is Yamantaka? Yama, the word Yama in Sanskrit has something to do with death. Lord of death. Yeah. So, Yamantaka actually is something to do with the time. The pure aspect of the time. Because the time in this sense, we are not talking about killing the time. In this sense, we are talking about time as the killer. So, Yamantaka, something to do with the transformation also. Transformation. Everything, just imagine it's like this. You are looking at a sand dune. You may not realize it, but every moment the sand dune is shifting. Right? Like this, like that. You understand? Shifting. This is the death. And that, it gets so profound actually. But also, Yamantaka many times is a deity for the longevity. Because something to do with the time, right? So that's one of the Heruka, big one, really, really big one. I think that's enough for now. But who is the center of all this deity? The big boss, Samantabhadra. How is it represented? A blue, naked Buddha. Many times with a consort, Samantabhadri. And now, who are these two? Yi dang che takpa. Yi means mind, cognizance, awareness. Che means the object, what is being cognized, what is being aware of. So subject and object basically. So the subject, the knower, is the Samantabhadra, the father consort. The object, what is known, is the consort Samantabhadri. Always in union, never separated, never. Okay? So these are, and don't forget, all these 100 deities are inside this system. Remember, note, each note is the deity. It's all there, everything. Okay, so if you know, those who wish to yeah. Okay, so you okay, then just quickly. So now faint, you are beginning to rise. You're beginning to see things, color, shape, and rays, sound. You're beginning to hear sound, imaginary. Cliff, abyss. Okay? And this, and when you see this, not knowing this is all your projection, getting scared, getting paranoid, then leads you to more projection. So, okay, you already fainted because you just cannot bear the referenceless. Now you are beginning to have some reference, light, shape, color, all of that. Peaceful deity, wrathful deity. But they are not the reference you want to be with. It's just too much. So then what? By 22nd day, maybe even before that, what you think comfortable reference will begin to happen. And this is the point the lamas, whatever, the great masters, they are also very concerned about the dead person. Because this so-called comfort zone is very, very, very dangerous. So let's say, then it can be infinite. The Bardo being is so lost, so scared, so referenceless. The Bardo being may look at a dead leaf, flying all over, dead leaf, and maybe the dead leaf has, the dead leaf can create a sense of cave. And the Bardo being may, because maybe this Bardo being still has this notion that being protected means having a roof. So even a small leaf with a cave-like experiences will do. And then of course the real cave, and not only that, mist like this, or hearing crowd. I think many Indians and Chinese, when they die, this is something that they might have to be careful, because we are so used to crowd. So, you feel like, there's some crowd, let's go. Like going to bazaar. We love crowds. Just imagine, for eons you have not heard anybody, nobody speaking, and suddenly you hear, like people arguing or having a conversation you like. So you will want to go there. Crowd. There's so many lists, but please refer to the text. Junction. And also lights, different lights. And strange marketplace. There you will want to enter. Okay, just quickly. Then, now, things get more complicated because there's you with all your baggage of karma, and then your future father and the mother who you have a karmic link. And you, because, and also during this time, many Bardo beings also see other Bardo beings. And it could be something like, you are the Bardo being here, right in this room, and then you meet the other Bardo being. Because the rest of this Bardo being, like let's say Praveen is a Bardo being, and he tried to talk to Karma Jimba, and Karma Jimba doesn't even see him. Because he's dead, right, from us, our point of view. So then Praveen gets really lonely. What to do now? So then Praveen Bardo being, okay, Bardo being of Karma, look for a companion. And he sees this Eskimo. Eskimo Bardo being. He's never seen him before. But because the Eskimo sort of looks at Praveen's eyes and their eyes lock, well, at least there's somebody who's responding to me. So Praveen will walk, he meets the Eskimo here, and then they will walk as a friend from here. And as they go down the steps, he looks at the Eskimo, he doesn't remember who this is. But actually I'm describing our life also. That's how it is, many times. Of course, we are in the delusion of thinking that we know, right, for a long time. But so it becomes so complicated and so confusing. Within 1 or 2 moments, you have 100 friends, 100 different kinds of food, 100 different kinds of reference. Now the references are coming back. Okay. Then, due to your parents' karmic link, karma with you, and then generally, if you are going to be a daughter of these two, you will feel desire to the father, jealousy to the mother, and these two emotion, jealousy and the desire, will push you to this state of your father and mother copulating and enter into their eggs and semen. A very generalization, okay? And, okay, what to practice now, right? Always going back to this. Of course, always remember, this is a projection. This is always the big one. But here, also you have to do some prayer. You have to think, okay, there's a many clear instructions in the Karma Lingpas. Okay, if you see like crowds arguing, don't go there, because you will be going to Asura realm. Those Asura realms, they're always arguing, because there's always a dispute over something, and so on and so forth. If you hear a lot of music, don't go there. There's a heaven, It's something you need to avoid. The heavenly people, they're like most stoned. And you don't want to be stoned forever. For a long time, do you? So on and so forth. And then mist is the animal realm. I'm getting a little bit, I'm sure I'm... please refer to Karma Lingpa's teachings. It has so many descriptions on this. Okay. Instead, here, if you are a tantric practitioner, think of places like copper-colored mountain. Think of places like Amitabha's realm, Avalokiteshvara realm, what is it? Turquoise hair realm of Aryatara. Turquoise, what do you call it? Mane, right? Mane. Hair, mane. We call it mane, right? English word is mane. Mane. Yeah. Or turquoise leaf land, which is Aryatara, Kechari, Vajrayoginis. So think about this, think about that. What does it do? When you think about that, it disrupts the other projections. You see, that's the trick. It disrupts mist and all of that. So you are longing to, you are quick fix. You will not do a quick fix solution. Okay, then generate this strong determination. Okay, since you must now, okay, ideally you go to these pure realms, but if not, okay, since I have no choice but to be reborn, at least may I reborn in a family where conversations such as all impermanence, all compounded things are impermanent. All phenomena has, all that. Bodhicitta, Buddha, Dharma, truth. May I be reborn into this kind of land, country, family, where there is a statue of the sublime beings, so on and so forth. So this is the path for the Bardo of becoming. And then you enter to the mother's womb, beginning of the first Bardo. And this is how you cycle. So, it's 9:57. So, I think we managed to rush it a little bit, but it's okay. So, a few things. The Bardo experience, study of Bardo, is really a study of this moment mind, quintessentially, working of the mind, manifestation of the mind. And I have received these teachings many times, from many, many masters actually. A very extensive teachings on this I have received from my mother's father, who is Drupaka Gyupa. The reason is because he really gives these teachings a lot. So, I happened to be there. Many times I did receive sort of properly. The other times I'm just sitting there. I'm just telling you this because, this is probably, it's not just a Tibetan habit, but it's a tantric or the Buddhist tradition. We need lineage. Lineage is absolutely important. My only confidence to tell you this is that I have received this from the proper lineage. And at least I've listened to the teaching. Doesn't mean that I've understood and all of that. But lineage is important because lineage is like one of the most crucial cause and condition. If you want to make a coffee, at least you need some sort of a strainer, right? It doesn't matter whether it's a paper one or some sort of a strainer. Lineage is a bit like that. Giving importance to the lineage seems to be dying now because I don't know why, but on one hand, the modern people always talk about copyright. But on the other hand, modern people are always stealing ideas and pretending that they came up this out of nowhere when they are having a stroll in Santa Barbara. So, I just want to tell you that I have received this. In case, in the future, if you are sharing this knowledge, it has the lineage. And beyond my teachers, like my both grandfathers, and Khyentse Rinpoche, and a little bit from Nyoshu Khyentse Rinpoche. If you want to look at the lineage, please refer to Google. It's all in Google, right? What am I supposed to do? Some sort of a transmission, right? So for those who are just here for the Bardo, this is finished. So you can go and have a cup of tea. But for those who still continue wanting to sit here to listen to a transmission, Oh, yeah, okay. Please stay on. You can, but also those who just want to sit here and observe, but not necessarily receive the transmission, perfectly fine. You are very welcome to observe. So we just do this transmission first.
Yes, but you'll give an introduction about this.
Yeah, briefly.
Yes.
Yeah. What else?
And after that, there's an offering, dedication offering.
Okay. With a bodhicitta and
refuge, there is a few requests.
Okay. Okay, so this is a sur offering composed by Longchenpa. It's a kind of a smoke offering. Please, those who wish to do it, you can burn, I don't know, some vegetarian food, or incense will do. These days there's a ready-made incense. Shinto karsum ngarsum rinpoche duzi purma soja dana rinpoche rangi jo kasbar samjisa dagi jinso jibi sonam jito rinpoche tongbe ngani keji dinso kulla shingam sobe zodan rinpoche deshin tuki dewa badana kamsum mali dabich ommani peme hong she jatan namajin shinshini jo jawa khoji mali jigo What did you do? New Jujin, the move at the Barjibis and Chokers villages of Dagi is Nesum Kuru Kulet and Zirjin Padan no Jima. Sahada Ringaras Chicken Jomdende shaja to be Kavazam Sanji Tongzani Sanji. I think Papa Jamis Dagi Chanchi, somebody. God be short, Mr. Mountains. Shepherd and door read to Lamjung and Chen and number G. This has a part where you make offerings with the Bardo beings. So it may be good to do if you want. They're watching the Pema Yuelas. Okay. There's a request to offer refuge and the bodhicitta. I'm going to do this. Oh, again, the same thing. Those who wish to just sit here and observe, you are welcome. But I'm going to do this also thinking about the Bardo beings. You know, the Eskimo. I will give them also. This is a good thing. You can give the refuge and the bodhicitta. It will really make them, you know, they're floating there, telling them, hey, look, why don't you do some work? I have a job for you. You know, give them a sense of purpose. And the job is to awaken all sentient beings. This is the biggest job. So, this is what we will do. Okay? So, please fold your palms together and repeat after me. Sanje Chodang. Tsoji Tsonamla. Janchu Bardo. Dani Japsichi. Dagi Jinso. Jibi. Sonamji. Drola Pincher. Sanje Dubarsho. So what we are saying is taking refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha, and we are generating that whatever we do, we will do this to enlighten, awaken all sentient beings. Okay, let's recite one more time. Sanje Chodang, Tsoji Tsonamla, Janchu Bardo, Dani Japsuchi, Dagi Jinso, Jibi Sonamji, Drola Penjir, Sanje Dubarshaw. Okay, we will recite one more time, and at the end, please consider that you have taken the refuge and the bodhicitta. Sanje Chodang, Tsoji Tsonamla, Janchu Bardo, Dani Japsuchi, Dagi Jinso, Jibi Sonamji, Drola Pencher, Sanje Dubarshaw. Okay, that's it. So with this we are finished. We should thank all our staff here who has really worked hard. This place was built thinking of sort of preserving and propagation of the word, the wisdom in general, Indian wisdom, and especially, teachings coming from places like Big Ramalashila, Otentapuri, Nalanda, and not just from those universities, more importantly, actually, from all those cemeteries. You know, India used to have amazing, amazing cemeteries. And there was all these incredible people, cemeteries. And also, Indian red light district of the 6th century red light districts. There were a lot of wisdom came from that too. So we are trying to preserve these teachings here. And I'm happy that many of you come here and thank you for giving us a lot of support in many, many ways. This Manjushri behind me, you know, I'm a very, what do you call it? I'm the opposite of Virgo people. You know who are, what do you call it? Like meticulous. I'm the opposite. I'm just like, let's just finish it. Just come on, do it quick. We have no time. But famously, it's a talk of a town, talk among the other Rinpoches. For this Manjushri, I worked on the face 6 months. Everybody was surprised. What happened to you? What happened to your Gemini side? You know, like, what? So painstakingly, you know, meticulously be worked. Inside, there are many precious things, and inside is, on my last visit, encounter, or my last meeting with my grandfather, Kyabje Dudjom Rinpoche, he gave me 2 presents. One is a wallet, but woman's wallet. It's very embroidery and all that. Click, you know, woman's wallet he gave me. The other one is a pen. He gave me that. And he said, I did a lot of prayers. Don't give this to anyone. I have the wallet still with me. Every now and then I check whether it's still there. But the pen is inside this Manjushri. Because I thought the pen represent, you know, wisdom, so on and so forth. Okay, so that's it. Thank you. Dedication? Isn't there some... Yeah.